Our beliefs create our entire realities. I'm sure you've heard that before. Our beliefs determine the lens in which we view the world, how we perceive the world. And so, therefore, our beliefs are always determining the outcomes of our lives. When I first began my personal development journey a few years ago now, my mind expanded so much, and I went from being such a sad, hopeless person to becoming so excited and joyful about life. So because of how much of a profound impact simply changing my beliefs had on myself, that's why I want to share these mindset shifts with you today, so that you can live a more expansive, joyful existence rather than feeling limited and stuck. But before we get into the video, if you are also on a journey of personally developing yourself and you resonate with the things that I have to say, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. And if you feel like it, you don't have to, but if you so choose to, then also give this video a like, because that really does help support me. And not only does it help support me, but it helps this video to reach others who could benefit from hearing it. So just wanted to give you that little spiel. Don't worry, it's over. We're moving on now, getting into the video. Number 1, we are the creator of our lives. We are the author of our stories, the director of our play, the artist to our painting. If we don't like where the story is headed, we can simply change it. We can simply begin a new chapter. Well, maybe I shouldn't use the word simply. It's often not very simple to do so. However, we do have the power to do so. Every single day, we are creating the outcome of our life by the decisions that we make, the habits that we practice, the beliefs that we have, the thoughts that we have. Too often, we get stuck in the belief that life is happening to us and we're just going along with it, that we don't have control over how our lives go and what happens to us. And that is how I used to believe. And so that's why when I had this mindset shift, it was absolutely life-changing, because I went from this incredibly limited state of mind that felt like a victim to whatever happened to me in life, and just simply hoped that my life would get better and simply hoped that positive outcomes would happen to me. I went from that to realizing that I actually had the power to choose, or at least to alter that direction. Because of course there are certain circumstances in life that we can't control. But what we do have power over is the direction of where we want to go, our trajectory. And so we can always alter and maneuver and change positions and find ways to get closer to where we want to be. There is no set blueprint for how you need to live your life. If you have a goal, no matter what type of goal it is, if you have a goal and you want to get there, then you have the power to sit down and think about how you can achieve that goal, what steps you can take to achieve that goal. If you want to have a certain type of life, with those goals always being on your mind and you operating from a value-based system, living your life based off of your values and the goals that you have for your life, you literally become the author to your story. Instead of saying things like, I wish this didn't happen, or it sucks that my life is this way, you start saying things like, I am going to change this. I don't like this, so I'm going to change it. The second mindset shift that changed my entire life actually came from a book called Mindset. And this mindset shift is that nothing is fixed. Almost anything can be changed, developed, and worked on over time. This concept is called having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So I used to have a fixed mindset, and then when I read this book, I began to have a growth mindset. If you have a fixed mindset, you believe that you just are the way that you are. Whether it's based off of your genes, your childhood, your parents, you believe that your flaws and your strengths are fixed because that is just who you are. Or you believe that if you're not good at something, it's because you're just not made for it. You may say things like, that's just how I am. I am not smart. I am not good at reading. Or I am a failure. I could never do that because blank, whatever reason. Now, if you have a growth mindset, you realize that nothing in life is fixed. Nothing in life is permanent. If you want to change something about yourself, you can actively change it based off of the decisions and the habits that you make every day. If you want to develop a skill, you can practice it. If you want to become a more social person, you can practice talking to people. If you want to be a smarter person, well, you can learn and read every day until you become a smarter person. If you really want to do something, but you're not at all good at it, you realize that all it takes is practice and consistency. Someone with a growth mindset might say something like, I am experiencing social anxiety, rather than saying, I have social anxiety. They may say things like, I am currently, I am working on, or I am learning how to. The third mindset shift is happiness is a way of life. Now, I know this is going to be hard-hitting for some people, but keep in mind that depression is something that I have experienced my entire life. Just giving that disclaimer because if you are someone with depression, trust me, I relate to you. But this is what I mean when I say that happiness is a way of life. The thing is, joy can be invoked based off of the daily decisions that we make. If we are taking care of ourselves every day, if we're doing things that bring us joy, if we're making the right decisions for our lives, then generally we are happier people and we feel a lot better. It's just that it's often the decisions that we make that make us spiral further and further into depression. Just because we know what the right decisions to make are, often we don't actually make the right decisions. Happiness is also about perspective and having unwavering gratitude for what we have. Also, that doesn't change the fact that we have difficult times, that we experience depression. When you're someone who chooses to be happy, you persevere through those difficult times and you allow yourself to feel through those emotions. When I was in high school, I remember that my friend tagged me in this post that said something along the lines of happiness is a choice or whatever it was. And at this time, I was so deep in my victim mindset that I commented literally the longest post ever, just basically being like, I didn't choose this, I was born with depression is a chemical imbalance, like you can't change it, all this stuff. Those things are valid. However, I was so stuck in the mindset that I had depression and depression owned me and I did not have a say in that. And even if that were true, it still doesn't serve me to think that way. It still doesn't help me to think that way. It, at the very least, feels better to even just think that you have some power over it. But you actually do. That's the thing. You do have some power over it. When I'm feeling feelings of depression, I see them as waves of emotion and I simply just have to persevere and feel through them. So every day I am working on making better decisions and doing things each day that will make me a happier person. It's also about viewing mistakes and viewing circumstances in a more positive light that serves your growth, reframing how you see mistakes and circumstances and deciding, I'm happy that I can learn from this. I'm happy that I can grow from this. Sitting here trying to explain each of these mindset shifts in a few minutes is not easy to do because there's just so many layers to these beliefs. And so I'm probably going to make a video, honestly, just dedicated to each of these mindset shifts that I'm talking about because there's so much more that I want to say, but I'm also not trying to rant for too long. So if there is a belief that we touch on in this video that you want to hear a more in-depth video about, then leave a comment and let me know. Number 4, money is an energetic exchange. That might be hard to process for many people because we view money as this paper that we have to work very hard for and that controls our lives. It can be so hard for people to have a healthy relationship with money just because of the fact that we have to work to live, and that's not easy to do, and that's something that I'm always struggling with myself, is trying to improve my relationship with money. However, it did really change my life for the better when I realized that money is an energetic exchange. Money is abundant. Money exists everywhere at all times. There is not a limit of how much money there is in this world. There is not even a lack of money in this world. I heard someone say this before and it really expanded my perspective. They were like, think about how money is traded online or how it's just transferred to your bank account and things like that. Like, it's literally not even paper anymore. It is quite literally an energetic exchange based off of the value that we give to others. So therefore, there is no limit of it. It's abundant. It's everywhere. It's always a matter of simply breaking through those limiting beliefs that we have about it, thinking that it's really hard to attain or that we could never do it because we're not good enough. This is also a matter of just having an abundance mindset in general, viewing money the way that you view nature, because nature is so abundant, or viewing money the way that you view creation. Right? There's no limit on creations in this world. There's always more creations coming out. There's always more ideas because it's abundant. It's unlimited. Same with success. People with a scarcity mindset believe that there's a limit on how many people can be successful, but that's just not the case. There is no limit on how many people can be successful in this world. And number 5, creativity can be monetized. You likely did not grow up thinking that you could make money from being creative, that you could make money from creating things that you actually want to create. Now, this is evident more than ever in the world that we live in right now. People literally get paid to be themselves. That is what a content creator is. If you've never thought about it that way, a content creator is paid to express themselves online. What a dream. What an abundant world that we live in today. But of course, that's not the only way to be creative. There are infinite ways of being creative because to be creative simply means to create, and that can mean creating anything. Anything can be monetized with the right strategy, persistence, knowledge, dedication, and time. Adding value to others is the most abundant monetary gain. So for example, if you are sharing knowledge or if you have products or services to offer, but also entertainment is also adding value to people. So if you are providing people with entertainment, that counts as well. This mindset shift was absolutely life-changing for me, and I always want to share that with others because it really did allow me to have an abundance mindset. Because even though I'm not where I want to be at this moment, even though I'm making money from a job that I'm not happy in and that does take up all of my time, at the same time, I always have hope for my future because if one idea doesn't work out, well, I have an abundance mindset. There's always another idea that could sprout, that could work out. There's not a limit to ideas. There's not a limit to creative expression. So I'm able to just kind of always have this unwavering faith that I'm gonna be okay in the end. If this one idea isn't the thing that gains me monetary success, I know that I will just learn from it and it will lead me to the next idea that might be the one or may not. All right, well, thank you so much for being here today. I really hope that this video resonated. If it added value to you, then make sure to give it a like. That really helps support me. Also, leave a comment below if there are any mindset shifts that have changed your life. I would also like to hear alternative perspectives. And yeah, don't be afraid to express yourselves in the comment section. I love keeping the conversation going down there. Most importantly, feel free to subscribe if you would like to have a safe space to come back to every week, and join my community if you are also on a journey of healing and becoming your best self and personally developing. If you are passionate like me about subjects like this and you just want to have a space to learn more and talk about them, then I would absolutely love to have you here. But other than that, I really hope that I see you in my next video. Blessings to you all.